Going into this past week of, having some uncomfortable truths to want to discuss, just to get an assessment of how to improve this football team, not just in particular because of what happened in Tennessee. What might be some of those things that you folks need to address on defense?
Yeah, just being able to use our hands a little bit more violent, continue to find ways to get off blocks, and just continue to get better, man. I mean, that's the name of the game. Is you never want to feel complacent, and so last week had a week to really kind of sit back and self-scout ourselves, and found some things that we need to get better at that worked on today, and just want to continue to get better.
Is pressuring the quarterback an emphasis? Because it didn't look like you got a lot on it.
I mean, I think pressuring the quarterback every week is kind of an emphasis. I don't ever think you want to take your foot off the pedal when it comes to pressuring the quarterback.
When you face a team like Miami, who you guys have had such great success against recently, including this year, what is the balance between going back to the well that worked earlier in the season and trying to mix in things and not give them things they've seen recently?
Yeah, obviously, Tua came out of the game early the last time we played him, so I expect to see him a lot more. They got some talented players over there, and we obviously want to take some things away that we did well in the first game, and take some things away that we didn't do so well, and correct those. But I've been in the league long enough to know that it didn't matter what you did last game, last week, yesterday. This team is hungry for a win. They're going to come in ready to play, so we got to prepare well and come ready to play.
Tua looks like he's playing a little bit better since he came back from the rib injury. What do you see on film from him?
Yeah, I mean, he does look like he's playing with a little bit more confidence in himself and in the offense, and so still slinging it around, still running the RPO game really well. So like I said, we're gonna have to prepare well and play well.
In some ways, are they, because of their situation, 6-game losing streak, you guys beat them bad, are they more dangerous maybe than a Tennessee team, for instance, or even KC?
I mean, every week creates its own challenges. Like I said, you never really want to look back and say this team is more dangerous now than before. Every week is a different week, and so you really got to take that approach and like I said, prepare well each and every day, and attack the day like I thought we had a really good day of practice today, and go in there, watch the film, make the corrections, and just keep getting better every day.
So, I mean, you were super aggressive. I remember, week 2 right away, got after the quarterback very aggressively, set the tone for the game, obviously wound up knocking him out. Not to give away game plan, but it's not as simple as just taking that particular blueprint. I mean, how much has changed from then until now in terms of what you see?
Really not a whole lot. Like I said, I think Tua is feeling a little bit more comfortable within that offense and within that scheme. He's getting to his reads, he's getting the ball out quick. And so it's going to be a lot of, ball out quick and open space, open field tackling, hands up, and like I said, they got some talented players on their football team. So we're gonna have some challenges that we're going to have to face.
George, Sean and Josh both talked about how this bye week feels a lot like last year's bye, coming off the tough loss and all that stuff. Last year, obviously, it worked out okay. You went on an 8-game win streak. Is there one or two things you point back to and think about what went right, or maybe what the mindset was that allowed you to come off the tough loss and get out after that?
I think we're a mature team. I think guys handle the bye week the way they're supposed to, resting, recharging, like I said, self-scouting, self-reflecting. I know I did a lot of that, and just finding ways to help our football team just get better. It's so early in the now I don't want to say early in the season, probably about a quarter away in the season, and that's just the name of the game, just continuing to get better. But yeah, a lot of we're refreshed and recharged, ready to go, and excited to play.
Jordan, how long did it take you to flush that loss?
I mean, I always try to do the 24-hour rule. Obviously some losses are a little bit harder to swallow than others, but at the same time, like I said, I've been in this league long enough to understand, whether you win or whether you lose, you got to be able to prepare for the next week, and you got to be able to forget about whatever happened the week before, learn from the corrections and move on, because a lot of that what goes on into the league is how a team handles, how a team handles wins, how a team handles losses, the pressures throughout the season, and some teams, they take it and they use the momentum, and some teams they fold and they can't handle the pressure, they can't handle this side or the other. So, just being able to ride the ebbs and flows of a season, ride the ebbs and flows of a game. You know, this is the NFL. This, you know, you're not going to go out there and play 60 perfect snaps, but at the same time, you know, just continue to get better and continue to stay within the game and move on to the next play. If you make a mistake, being able to move on to the next play, being able to move on to the next game, whether you win or whether you lose. And I think that's huge. You know, like I said, it's year 9 now, so kind of taking that in.
Might this have been one of those 25-hour ones instead of 24 because of the bye week?
What are you trying to get at?
I'm not saying. Well, just for this team, maybe. I'm not talking.
I think the guys have the perfect mindset coming into the. Like I said, we're a mature football team. We're not going to sit here and dwell on something that happened 2 weeks ago. We're a damn good football team, and we know that. What's the point of even, you know, thinking about that? You know, obviously that loss hurt. We're moved on from it. We're ready to go against the Dolphins.
Jordan, Sean had mentioned, I should say before, that, you know, during the bye week you try and set things aside, take a breather, but it's tough when you have a passion for the game of football that he does. Do you feel the same way, or were you able to?
Nah, I definitely felt the same way. You know, I was sitting there with my family, my wife and my daughter, and we're just sitting at the beach, and I was just, you know, just thinking like, man, you know, kind of can't wait to get back ready to playing football, you know, and seeing the Thursday night game, seeing all the college games, seeing Sunday, you know, it just kind of, you know, definitely recharged, ready to go. And so you kind of, like I said, you do enjoy the bye week, but at the same time you get that little itch towards the end of it to get back ready to go.
Kind of along the lines to your previous answer at the top, you were asked about maybe the lack of pressure on Tannehill, that sort of thing. And in terms of kind of taking what you can from one game and moving into another or back to a trend, was that as much a function of trying to deal with Henry, you know, from a defensive scheme standpoint?
Yeah, I think they just, you know, I think they beat us up, man. They were able to run the ball. I mean, they weren't really able to run the ball, but at the same time, you know, the play action helped a lot. You know, it takes all 11 guys to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. You know, there's times where play action, he's able to get out of the pocket and throw the ball. But, you know, like I said, emphasis every week is always getting pressure on the quarterback no matter what, being able to affect him, whether it's with our looks, whether it's with our pass rush or blitzing. So there's never not an emphasis, you know, to get to the quarterback.
You guys are tied for the lead in takeaways, I think, right now. I mean, obviously, having good players helps get takeaways. But, I mean, is there a way or a thing that Leslie, a way he emphasizes it, or a drill you do that you like, especially like?
Just every day, just emphasizing it. Every day, from the meetings, from the practice, just continuing to emphasize it and put it in our heads, you know, get the ball, you know, and you know, it's like little habits. In some of the meeting rooms, there's a ball on the wall with kind of like, I don't know, one of those, you know, those little doorknob things which you hit so you kind of, it's just mental habits, just building that mental habits, and that really carries over to the game. Guys punching at the ball, guys stripping at the ball. So it's just a lot of habits that we've created through our time here.
So when you walk in and out of that room, you can whack that thing.
Yep, and it's just mental habits.
Tennessee had success against you guys in the red zone, but this season you guys have been really good. From a defensive philosophy or, you know, approach standpoint, what changes once an offense gets in the red zone?
Yeah, we just have a mindset that we either give up a field goal or we take the football away. You know, it's just field goals or takeaways. The defense or offense, you know, the teams are gonna get in the red zone, but you know, defend the blade of grass. That's our mindset when the team gets in the red zone. Defend the blade of grass.
Jordan, you mentioned the bye came a little earlier on the schedule this year, and now with 17-game regular season, you got 11 games in a row here. How do you mentally and physically prepare to know that you've got such a long stretch without a break?
One day at a time. That's it. That's my answer. One day at a time.
When you mentioned the maturity of this team and how that helps get through a bye week, when did you start to notice that?
With this organization?
Yeah, like even if it was a couple
I
years
mean,
ago.
really, you saw how we handled last year. I mean, everybody remembers the Hail Mary, how we took that, and then we came out and won 8 straight. You know, I think guys are obviously upset at that loss, and we're hungry to get back ready to work. And you kind of feel that same energy now. You know, guys are hungry, ready to get back ready to work, ready to play some football. We're at home this week. I mean, gosh, coming off a bye at home this week after 2 road games, you know, you can't ask for anything better. So we're excited to play.
Sean is undefeated the week after the bye. What do you think, like McDermott, what do you think, is there something he does differently, or how do you think that's been able to happen?
He's a good football coach. He's a great football coach. You know, prepares well. He prepares us well. I didn't know that stat in particular, but it's a great stat to have. So he's a great coach to play for, and he prepares us extremely well. Him and Coach Fraser.